So one thing I want to say is there's a lot of stuff happening right now, and a lot of very disturbing things that are happening that pertain to this class. And unfortunately, they're not going to go away. And unfortunately, if I had to guess, things are going to spiral a little more than they've already spiraled. And in a way that actually concerns me. I've been involved in this work for really my whole life, and thinking about these issues for 40 years, and the issues that we're talking about in this class. And I think this is one of the first times, and I'm just going to say this because I just feel like I feel like I should just be honest. And I'm one of these people who's actually, when other people around me start to get really nervous and riled up and like feeling like it's like kind of the end of the world and, oh my God, things are falling apart, I'm the person always, it's like, relax, it's all good. Because I'm a student of history, I can reach back in time and see all the places when we've been at certain places, or other societies or cultures have been at certain places and they pulled out of it. And other times when societies and cultures have been at a place like this, and again, they've pulled out, or they've spiraled even more, right? I'm always that person that sees the glasses as half full as opposed to half empty. I mean, you know, those people who see it as half empty, they're just like the pessimist. I'm the optimist. I'm the eternal optimist. It's not because I'm a white man. It's not because I'm from Toledo, Ohio. It's not because I live in State College. It's just that it's built into me to be an optimist. Right now, I'm feeling some kind of way about some things. And so next week, we're going to dive right into the protests that are happening and police killings of civilians and the violence and the sort of the emergence of these, not just the alt-right, but these like militaristic civilians who are taking it upon themselves to really take their weapons out into the streets. And yeah, I mean, it's just like, we're starting on next Tuesday right here. And so I'm not going to say, yeah, you might want to do a little bit of homework or whatever, but the most recent case, the most recent example is this gentleman in Kenosha, and it's just immensely disturbing. Okay, not okay. It's just immensely disturbing, and so we're going to go there. That's what this is. It's unfortunate that in Social 19, that pretty much we can do a class on current events, and I never have to prepare anything. All I got to do is pick up the newspaper or watch the news, international and national and local, and we have things to talk about that pertain to the class. But today we're not going to jump in. But I need to introduce you in some ways as to how class functions. And I also want to say something that as we move forward, I'm going to say this multiple times, but I want to say it at this point. Sometimes it's really clear to see what the problems are. And some issues are just really, really clear. They're very black and white. There's just like, there's no gray area. It's like certain things are just wrong at multiple levels, and already even at a single level, it's just wrong. It's disturbing. It's wrong. And then at the same time, for most things, the more you dig into them, the more you excavate, the more you see, you encounter gray areas. And especially when you talk to people who think differently, when we talk to people who think differently than we do, who are really smart and thoughtful, and they're not the caricatures that we build them out to be. So, for example, I've been teaching, when I got here at Penn State, I started teaching police officers. And because because this class was required for every student who was a criminal justice major back in the day. And so I spent years and years and years teaching lots of police officers. And I know a lot of police officers. And it's just incredibly complex. There's no statement you can make about police and all police that is just inherently true. And there's no statement you can make about anything that's just inherently true, about racism, about discrimination, about the way people are treated by police or protesters, right? Or violence and there's nothing you can say. And when you make those generalized statements, when we make them, we're missing most of the story most of the time. And my job is to complexify the issues and to make things really, to make us have to think and to have to go that next level. And it's what I do, right? That's what this class is. It's a class. It's a university class, and we want to be smarter, and being smarter means that we have to entertain ideas that at one point in time we may not want to entertain. But when we talk to people who are really smart with alternative ideas, and like really smart, I mean, they've thought them through, and they're not caricatures, right? That we build them up to be, and then we take a step over and where they're standing, and suddenly, wait, it's like that's not exactly what I used to be thinking. And a lot of times for many of us, like, we want to stay in our place because we really don't want to have to change the way we're thinking about things. But that's not what I'm going to do is challenge, and I'm going to challenge everybody. And that's my job, right? Is to get us to think. So, one thing that I often like to say is, like, when I say things that you agree with, your response, the response of a typical student or typical person is going to be, okay, he's telling the truth now, right? You agree with what I'm saying. So I make some, whatever it is, right? You're going to think like, oh yeah, he's telling the truth. And if I say something that you disagree with, then the typical kind of response is, oh, he's taking sides or he's biased, right? But what you got to understand is the other person who's disagreeing with the first thing that you think is the truth is thinking that I'm biased. And then when you're thinking I'm biased, then somebody else is thinking that I'm telling the truth. And so you got to my goal would be to never really reveal what I actually believe and think, like my internal beliefs and my internal thoughts. My goal is to just keep poking from lots of different perspectives. And so, my also one thing that I see is in my 59 years on this planet is almost everybody holds a mixture of conservative and liberal ideas, whatever those are, on a wide range of social issues. Almost everybody does. And one of the things I like to do in this class is get you to see if you think of yourself as more conservative, is to get you to see the different ways in which you think like a liberal, right? And if you think of yourself as being a liberal, then my job is to get you to see the different ways in which you actually think like a conservative. And so, because most of us are in between, most of us just pick different ideas out in lots of different ways. And if we don't, those of us who don't, well, I don't know. I don't think I've ever met anybody who is all one thing, whatever those things even mean. I don't even know what they mean. Okay. Let's go to the next thing. We're going to jump. We're going to be done with me talking in a hot minute. So here, some of the questions from class. I think there were some pretty cool questions. There were a couple other ones that I didn't put up here, but it's like, I think that these are some of the ones that didn't get out on the stream. So we're going to get to almost all of these at some point. That's the nature of this class. So it's pretty cool, and a lot of others. There's so many questions. Okay, are there more, Jeff? And is that it? Is that where we're?
Yeah, those are all the questions.
All right, man. I thought I had a few more, but okay, that's okay. Okay, so let's go with getting back to getting the conversation going. So how to get on the stream. Okay, this is really, really key. I'm going to step out of the way here. So once again, this is a conversation class. This is a class that requires you to actively participate, or else you just have me standing in front of a camera yammering away at whatever it is. we don't want that, right? We really want you to actively participate. And so you just send your PSU email, right? You can send it from any email, but you got to send your PSU email because that's the one. You just use that to Joy, because right now we're only going to bring people on the stream who are enrolled in class, unless someone really wants to join the stream, and then they can contact us and we can vet you a little bit. But right now we're just going to stick with people who are enrolled in class or people who we have invited, because we have lots of people who are going to join the class on the stream from around the world, actually, as we move forward. But Joy will send you the Zoom link and keep your Twitch video on, and she'll put you in the waiting room. And then once you're out of the waiting room, we'll see you and you'll see me and in an angle, and then we'll just ask you to unmute your mic. Joy, is there anything else that you feel like folks need to? Jeff, can you pop Joy on the stream really fast? Anything else you think people need to know?
No, that's about it. I think in your initial email, if you could tell me whether you want to be on live or just want to pass the question along. Yeah. That'll save on time and responding via email to get you on. There were some students who, when I asked, they don't want to be on. So not to assume that you want to join when you do email. Just let me know explicitly if you want to be on and get the link, or just pass the question on.
And right now, Joy, we're waiting. We need a couple. We want to invite. Hang on. Can we go to camera 1 for a second? Listen, everybody, this is my humble and formal invitation for some of you today. We're probably 6 or 7 people. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know how many we'll get through to join the stream. So if we can start with a couple people. And what we're going to do today, so just send the email off to Joy. Again, it's at sam@social19.org, and then she'll send you the link. And here's what's up. Here's what we're going to do. Well, the first couple classes in Social 19, we call them the What Do You Know classes. And basically, I'm going to put something up on the screen and ask you to say something about it, whatever it is that you have to say. Whatever it is that whatever, there's no right answer. These are immensely complex issues. It's like you're not expected to have anything to say. And some of you do. There are things that we're gonna use as part of this What Do You Know process. And some of you in class, we're gonna put something up, and there are a bunch of you that would have a lot to say about it, but maybe it won't be the person who actually comes onto the stream. So that's fine. We don't expect you to. It would be like you inviting me into a conversation about, I don't know, say something about the equation for a straight line. Like, I don't know what the equation is for a straight line. You know what I mean? When I have no idea. S plus L, straight plus line. I don't know. Or physics. There are any number of things in basic biology that I'm intrigued by. Basic biology. I'm intrigued by advanced biology. I'm intrigued by everything, but I wouldn't have much to say about it. So, but many of you you're going to have a lot of things to say, and it's awesome. In fact, what we find every semester, I'm going to put some things up, and people say some really, really cool things. And so that's what we're going to do now. We just need a couple of volunteers. So, but we don't expect you to be experts. That's the key. And the other thing that I want to say is, I get a little bit of water right here. I'm going to look right into the camera on this one. Not only am I going to look in, but I'm going to get really, really close. Okay, listen, man. No throwing people under the bus. Whenever people come onto the stream, don't throw them under the bus, right? Don't be jerks. Don't be snarky. Don't say things about people. No matter what, all throughout the semester, don't do that. And this is what we do in class, and we emphasize it over and over and over again, because people will get on Twitter and they'll say things or whatever, don't do that, because first off, it's uncool. And secondly, you can say things about me. That's all right. I don't care. I'm used to it. But nobody else, who's part of the class and who joins, because once we do that, it just it spoils it, and it's not cool, man. It's just not good. This is an entire exploration that we're doing here. Okay. So please let's just make it happen and let's be really cool. But the whole thing is going to be, as we move forward, it's really going to be dependent on people being willing to just jump in and have conversations. So that's where we're at, my friends. Okay. And we have Carolina. Okay, we can go back to 2. Joy. Hey, Carolina. You can.
Hi.
Yo, how's it going?
Good. I'm doing good. How are you?
Where are you at?
I'm at a Dunkin' Donuts. I actually work here, and I use the internet after work.
Awesome.
To join
In State
class.
College or somewhere else?
No, I live in Pittsburgh.
In Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Cool. Hey, and what's your ancestry, by the way?
I'm Mexican. I think my great grandfather was from Spain.
Yeah.
So I guess that's it.
And do you this is awesome, man. Oh my God. And do you you speak Spanish?
Of course.
Okay. So Mexican, were you born in Mexico or born in the US?
No, I was born here in Pittsburgh, but I lived most of my life in Mexico.
Oh yeah, okay. Where in Mexico?
Mexico City.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I still call it that.
I lived in in Mexico City on the summer of 1986, the summer after the earthquake.
Oh,
Crazy
we still have
story.
after those each year we have what's it called when you like try to remake it just to like that same day each school and every place just kind of remembers it.
Yeah, it was really intense. Okay, so listen, Jeff, we're ready for the first slide. It's amazing that you jumped on because actually, Jeff, hang on. We're not going to do the first one, okay? We're going to do the second one, okay? So what I want you to say, Carolina, is so Jeff, you can put that up when you're ready. There you are now. Carolina, tell us what you know when you see this word skin and you look at the photos. Just think about skin. Don't think so much about the photo. Just think about skin. What do you have to tell us about skin? Like, what do you know about skin?
Well, I really didn't think about it that much. Well, in Mexico, it was pretty important to know your social economic class by your skin, because the people that look more like how do you say it, like the more colored skin in Mexico, it doesn't reach black color, but it reaches a certain type of skin. You would actually know if they're indigenous people, which they come for a lower class. When I came here to the US, I started looking at other type of stuff that were related to skin color, but mostly like for African American people, a lot of things, a lot of discrimination issues and stuff like that I didn't even really think about at all. I hadn't seen, true story, I had only seen like 5 Black people in my life before I came to the US.
Mm-hmm. Mexico?
In Mexico, yeah.
Were they foreigners or Mexicans?
Yeah, they were from, I had some professors from Haiti. Yeah. Well, some teachers in my middle school to teach me French, and they were from Haiti and they were Black. No one ever really did any comments about their skin color ever. I think there was this one kid in my high school that was Black, and that was kind of weird and strange. And they called him names like little Black person in Spanish would be like negrito. They would call him that. And but he wouldn't, I mean, he probably would mind, like it's kind of racist, but it wasn't something bad, as I would call it. Like, we weren't really making fun of, well, I never met him, but they weren't really making fun of him for his skin color. There was nothing related that we could think about as to when I come here to the US and there's all these things.
So tell us, what did you, once you arrived at the US, in the US, what did you learn? What's one of the first things you learned about skin color?
Skin color. I learned that for Latinos, that we have that kind of like appearance. They would initially, for example, when I go to New York, there's a lot of Latinos there. You go to a store and they see you and they automatically speak to you in Spanish to order something. They literally just go ahead and speak to you in Spanish. You could be American, not speaking in Spanish at all, not even being Latino, and they speak to you in Spanish because you look like that. For like Black people, I learned some things that, for example, I didn't know. And some song lyrics have the N-word, right? I didn't know. I couldn't even sing those songs and just mute the N-word part. I didn't know that. For example, I learned that some people say that some Latinos are allowed to say that word. And I've had, in my high school, there were a lot of Arabic people, Muslim people, refugees and everything. They were my friends. They said the N-word a lot. And I just didn't know where the line was. Where's the line in there? Like, I never wanted to say that word. I really never thought of that word having any meaning to me. Never said it before. But then it started having meaning after a while.
So one of the things that you learned very early on was the skin color is very political, and it's connected to a lot of racism and discrimination.
It is, yeah, I think so.
So are you familiar with the slave ports, slave towns in Mexico? Because Mexico also had slaves.
Yeah, I usually, in Mexican history, I think they focus more on our own slavery because Spanish people came. The indigenous people were the ones who were slaves. They were probably some slavery brought from Africa, probably, I believe, because in the Caribbean there were all the islands. That's why they have a more skin color. You can tell when someone's Puerto Rican, Dominican, because the skin color, not because they live in an island and the sun hits there more. That's what people would say.
So in Mexico, in kind of north and south of Veracruz, were slave ports, and there are still slave communities, and so there are Africans, people who trace their ancestry directly to Africa, and so there are still these small pockets of communities in Mexico, and most people in Mexico don't know anything about them because the communities are really small and mostly cut off, like people cut off. Hey, on another note, I wonder if anyone. No, listen. We can come back to this. We will come back. Thanks for joining. Right. Thanks for just saying that. There's so much to say about skin. I often maybe we'll see if we do it this semester, but I often do an entire class on skin, or sometimes even 2 classes. There's a lot to say. So, listen. Thanks, and
thank you for listening to me.
No, listen. Thanks for joining. And all right, I will see you.
See you.
All right, ciao. Hey, so by the way, for those of you who may have gotten, I'm curious, did anybody on the chat get snarky when I asked her if she spoke Spanish? Did anybody get snarky about that? Like, oh, he doesn't even know she speaks Spanish? Because don't get snarky. You can get snarky with me, but don't get snarky. But practice not being snarky, right? About half of all students who identify as Latinx students don't speak Spanish. So, so I'm asking, do you speak Spanish? But I can't hear, my computer was turned down, so I can't hear really well. I couldn't hear the inflection in her voice. So yeah, don't be getting snarky with people, man. I have no idea if anybody did, but lots of folks do. Hey, let's bring who do we have? Who's going to come in next? We'll do our next the next one. Who do we have? Just bring somebody in. Doesn't really matter. I see that we have Grace. Looks like Grace was the first one who was on. So why don't we bring her in? Okay. And yo, Grace, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Dude, I'm rocking and rolling. Hey, and where are you?
I'm in the East Halls right now. I'm an RA in East.
Oh yeah. Okay. Awesome, man. Awesome. So we're gonna throw where are you from? Or what city?
Oh, I'm from like right outside of Philly.
Right outside of Philly. So you're on the east side of the state. The east side's the best side. Isn't that what we decided yesterday? Or was that the west side's the best side?
There's no clue.
All right. So listen, here's where you're at. Hey, Jeff, let's put that very first one up. Okay. We're going to ask you to, what do you know about the border wall? Remember, this is what do you know quiz. So what do you know about the border wall?
I just know what like has been said in like media and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like Trump or the president trying to build a wall.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's all I know.
Well, go a little further. Like, so Trump wants to build a wall. Why? What's behind him wanting to build a wall?
I think it's to stop illegal immigrants from crossing the border.
Mm-hmm. From where?
From Mexico, I believe.
Uh-huh. And what would be the reasoning for that?
I don't really know actually.
What do you imagine it would be? You probably know a lot. You would probably know a lot, actually. And when we get into these issues, one of the reasons I'm going to keep asking is because we probably actually know, most of us know a lot more about things than we imagine that we do. So, like, what do you imagine? Like, what do you?
I would assume because they're like undocumented. So I want to think his reasoning is because, like, actually, I'm not sure about that. Like, it just like, I don't know. It's a hard question.
Uh-huh. Well, what do you think? So if you have people who are undocumented living in the United States, what does that mean?
That means they're like not accounted for and they're doing things, I guess I want to say like getting benefits and stuff, or they're not getting benefits that they should be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So they either are getting benefits and they're not citizens, so they're not really legalized, or they're not getting certain benefits and they actually should be getting benefits. Uh-huh. So when you think about people coming here from south of the border without documents, right, sneaking into the United States, what's behind that?
I think they just want a better life from where they were before.
Uh-huh.
And like they think that America would give them more opportunities, and from wherever they're coming from, it's just better.
Mm-hmm. So your ancestors are from Korea, right? Your last name looks like it's Korean. So who came here?
My mom and dad came here for college.
Uh-huh. Oh, did they meet in college or did they meet back home?
They met back home and then came here to further study.
Yeah. And do you speak Korean?
I do speak Korean.
Awesome, man. Fluently?
Yes, I can speak fluently.
Oh, awesome, man. Did they insist that you learn Korean?
Yeah, my mom refused to talk to me if I didn't answer back in Korean.
Oh, beautiful, man. Give your mom a high five, man. And what is and why did they come here?
I think they just wanted to they just wanted a better life, I think, than in Korea.
Uh-huh. And so they came as students, so they got, visas to study here. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Where are they from, both of them? Are they from Seoul or?
I believe so.
Yeah. Cool. Have you been to Korea?
I've been to Korea once.
Awesome, man. I was supposed to do a speaking tour in Korea in May and it got canceled, obviously. But Yeah, very cool. Okay. Well, listen, you nailed it. You didn't think you knew, but you actually put a lot of stuff out there, right? This is the piece about the curiosity, just stay curious, right? Just like really be thinking about the issues. And most of us do think about them a great degree. Cool. Yo, thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah. Be well. I appreciate it. Hey, so next, hey, by the way, class, that's pretty easy, right? That's pretty simple. Like you're just coming on and you're answering a question and we're going to keep going. And I got we have a bunch of these to do. So we have one more person who's lined up, but we really need a couple other people, right? This is like, we're going to do lots of things where we bring multiple students on and we have conversations between you all. We're going to do some of that next class, as a matter of fact. It's not going to just be talking about one person or with one person, but we need to go. So listen, man, let's go with the next. Who do we have next?
Hey,
Yo.
Sam.
Yo, what's up?
Nothing. What's up?
Wait, I gotta see.
Is it me?
Yeah, it is you, man. But
Okay, cool.
what's your name?
Quentin Anderson Watson.
Clinton. All right, cool, man. Well, nice seeing you. Quentin, I got it, man. Hey, Jeff, we're just gonna go with the next one, man. Quentin's gonna nail this. I can see it in you, man. I can see it. You're gonna have it.
So.
Dude, you got it. All right, listen. And I love that the guy dressed up as an American Indian is a black guy too, right? So tell us what you know about American Indians.
Okay.
Tell us everything you know, man.
Everything. Okay. Well, I know that they were here and then, the Europeans came over and they basically started, some were nice. Some Europeans were nice to them and they kind of developed a little relationship, but for the most part, they kind of basically stripped them of their land and took it away from them. Yeah, I don't know if it was Andrew Jackson or something. Was it the Trail of Tears, where it was like the Native Americans were kind of basically forced to just leave and they just kicked them out of their own land. So it's basically just been generations of them having their land that they owned prior to us just being taken from them by people stronger than them. If that makes sense. Yeah.
So we're the American Indians, indigenous. When we say indigenous peoples or indigenous Americans, we mean people that are original to the land. Indigenous just means original. So where did the indigenous people? Where'd they come from? Who are they? Like what?
That's hard. I think wasn't it like a land bridge and they came over like what was it, 10,000 years ago? And then the land bridge kind of like was it the glaciers they melted or something and the sea kind of rised again. And then it's basically they were cut off for years. I'm not sure if I think the Vikings came, but I know the Chinese didn't they possibly come before the Europeans? I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Didn't the American Indians come before the Europeans?
Oh, before everyone else? Yeah, no.
Yeah,
I know that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I got you, man. And what about the difference between North America and South America and the Caribbean? What do you know about
that? The difference between North America, South America, and the Caribbean? What do you mean? I don't
like the different tribes. First off, let me ask you this: how many tribes do you think there are currently, Native American Indian tribes, recognized by the U.S. government? How many are there in the United States today?
I have no idea. I'll throw out a number. 7. Is that right?
Higher.
Higher? Like in the 20s?
How about a lot higher, my friend? 3 figures.
Oh, I have no idea.
Honestly. Go ahead. Take a guess. It's 3 numbers though, at least. So now you got to go.
At least 3 digits. Okay. 312.
Dude, double that.
Oh man. 624.
They're close, man. You did double it. All right. That's big. No, man. It's about 670 recognized. Wow. 570 actually.
That's a lot.
Hang
I
on.
said
Five.
7.
It's actually 570, my friend. So,
That's crazy.
but which is a lot, right? Nobody thinks. People have this idea that American Indians just really disappeared and they're no longer here, and it's just not part of life. So, cool, man. When you think about what percentage of the U.S. population identifies today as American Indian, what do you think?
That's hard. Oh, you're putting me on the spot. I don't know. I would say it's a very small minority, right? I don't know if I had to throw a number, maybe less than 5%
Mhm.
at least. I don't know.
Dude,
I'm not
listen,
just,
man. First off, there's nobody knows how many tribes there are in the U.S. You're like the 1% of Americans have any idea of how many tribes there are. So you're like totally in the bell curve.
yeah.
The percentage of the U.S. population, what people know about Native Americans, you're also in the bell curve because, or what percentage of current people identify right now as Native American? Nobody knows that either. So you're right in the bell curve. That's cool. I wouldn't expect you to know at all. Listen, how about this? What do you hear? So how do you identify?
I'm black. I mean, my mom's Jamaican, but I mean, I'm still black, so I just call myself black.
Okay, so you're Afro-Caribbean, black, right?
Caribbean, African American, yeah.
Got you, man. And we'll talk about all that. Like you call yourself whatever you want, but I'm asking you that because so indigenous blood. Are there any stories in your families about Native American ancestry?
No, I don't know. Like after my great grandmother, it's kind of like no one knows anything about our family, to be
Yeah.
honest with you.
So
So
is
yeah.
your father Jamaican also?
No, my dad's from here, but my mom came here when she was 8, I think.
Got you. And then
Yeah.
his family as well. Nobody talks about Native American heritage.
No, not at all. I don't think, yeah, I don't even know anyone that's Native American, so
Yeah. Yeah, I
yeah.
got you. No, so lots of African Americans. And when I say African American, I'm referencing North Americans who trace their ancestry to slavery, right? In North America, right? That when we talk about African Americans, that's kind of a general word that anybody you can call yourself African American. And so you are half, let me just say, like, because we try to get our terms down, right? Half African American, half Jamaican American, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
And lots of African Americans will say they have Native American blood. Have you heard that from Black people?
I've never heard that ever. I know I know like people call themselves Black Israelites, but I've never heard Black Native American.
Black Israelites are a big fan of Social 119, man. Yeah, that's another story. Yeah, so there are people on the stream. You have Black classmates on the stream who have stories in their families about Native American blood. Here's what I want to say to you. So we've done a lot of research on like DNA testing, on like really finding out what kind of ancestry we have, right? Just by it's called biogeographical ancestry testing. So we just see where if we have genetic markers from certain areas of the world. And so there are a lot of stories in Black families about the connection to Native culture because under slavery, there were a lot of connections between Native peoples and Black Americans and slave communities because they would help look out for one another. But a lot of Black Americans who have an idea that they have Native American blood actually have white blood, right? When we test them, we find out that's actually the story in your family is you're part Native American, but the reality is that you're part white. Especially by the way, when people say Cherokee. So those of you in the class, hang on. I'm going to go to camera 1 here really fast. Can you go to camera 1? Listen, class, those of you who identify as African American, if the story in your family is that you have Cherokee in your family, the chances are like 90% likely that you don't, right? Because Cherokee is just that one that people use. So just want to say that. You may have some other Native American blood, but more likely than not, you have white blood or white ancestry. All right, man, back to Quentin. All right, so listen, that's all, man. Anything else you want to say? Where are you at right now?
Where am I at? I'm here. I'm at Wolf Hall right now, just like in this little study room. It's pretty chill in here.
All right, what else do you want to say?
I I don't know. This was fun. Thank you. I might
Yeah.
do an ancestry test or something soon.
Dude, I'll send it out for those of you in the class who are interested. When they're half price, so they'll be like $49 or $50. When they go half price, I'll send it out to the whole class because it's really interesting to do, to find out, you know, what your ancestry is.
Cool. That'll be fun.
Yeah, it's cool. All right, dude. Thanks, man. Nice.
All right. Thank you,
Yeah.
man.
Nice seeing you. Hey, all right, let's go. Let's bring somebody else in, man. Let's see who we have. And then, yo, what's up? Hang on. Deshaun, right? Deshaun? You can unmute your mic, man, and kick back on the video. Deshaun, if you can hear me, man, go ahead and unmute.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh,
There
well,
you go.
is it good?
Yeah, just let us see your video if you got it. Turn your video.
Yeah.
On. All right, you got it. Oh,
Okay.
beautiful. You're gonna be awesome for this one. Where are you at, by the way?
I'm in Beaver Hall right now.
Yeah, which one?
Yeah.
Or just Beaver? Is that the name?
Yeah, no, it's Pollock area, but Beaver Hall in State College.
Yeah. All right. What year are you?
I'm a freshman this year.
Yeah. How do you identify, by the way?
African American, Caucasian, or black and white mix, like whatever you prefer to say.
And where are you from in the U.S.?
I'm from Pennsylvania, actually. I'm only an hour away. I live in Williamsport, PA, where they play Little League at. Yeah.
How is it growing up mixed in Williamsport?
Awful. I hated it so much, honestly, because it was more so of the fact that I didn't always grow up in Williamsport. I grew up all the way to my sophomore year in a school that was 20 minutes away, and I only had 50 kids in my graduating class, and they're extremely racist there. And that's why we actually moved to Williamsport. And it wasn't much better up there because I was actually around black people for once. And then it was, African-American people for once. And it was cool. I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. But I was too white for my black friends. And then I was too black for my white friends. So you would think being a mix, you would get along with everybody, but it was really quite the opposite.
Yeah, it's hard in a place. So what happens in a place like Williamsport, where there's an elevated amount of racism, the divisions are really, really tight. And so it increases the pressures to be in one team, right? Quote unquote, one team or another team. And you're on both teams. And so it's really difficult. Once again, I was having this email exchange with one of your classmates this morning, just about this, how you just get sort of pushed off. And when you're mixed, you're just overlooked by everybody. And so we're going to talk about this when we're going to have a whole class on being mixed. So maybe this will be an opportunity to come back in. But listen, right now you're going to respond to this question, right? Or to this statement right here. We're going to do that. What do you know about this? What do you know about Me Too, man? Give us everything you know.
Me Too. I heard that's I knew that the only part that I heard about it was that when people were being raped and such, but they didn't want to speak out upon it. And when people were actually starting to speak out upon that, because that's stuff I guess it's taboo, stuff you don't like to talk about, or people are scared to say anything because the person that victimized them, they're afraid that they'll come back and do something to them. But the Me Too movement allowed people to speak out and explain their stories about what happened. But I don't know if it was only just for that specific reason. I didn't know if it was also include people being in racist interactions Me Too. But yeah, that's all that I really know pretty much about that.
Yeah, very cool. All right, man. So you got the general idea, and then you say, so I don't know if it was just about gender and sex, or was it also about race, or were there other factors that came into it? No, it emerged around gender, right? It came out of women's communities. So very cool. What else? Yeah, anything else? Anything else around that? Are you still hearing people today in social media circles using that hashtag or talking?
Yeah, I've heard it. like talked about, I have a couple of friends that I would have never expected to open up about situations that's happened in their life, and they were able to like use that movement to be able to, it's not even just like let other people know that it happened to them, it can help them like emotionally move on, that they can like accept it like for what happened, not that it's okay, but that they can like come to terms like with what happened.
Cool. Yo, how was that for you actually to hear the stories?
It was really heartbreaking because like I thought that like I knew people like so well, like growing up around them and with them, and for them to like tell me a part of their story, it was like a whole, not like a whole nother person, but like a whole aspect of them that like I've never like heard before or anything. It just changed my whole like view, like not like upon them about like in a bad way, but like just that like it's like sympathizing with them. Like I never knew that people went through such stuff and like were able to just hide it, you know.
Dude, so it's similar to you. Yeah, exactly. This is the hidden stuff, right? The ways in which people can hold things down. As so many of you, hang on. We're going to go back to one right here really fast, Niche. As so many of you know about with the things that you have hidden down, right? That you just keep like squashed down and don't think about it and don't reveal, and think that if you just don't try not to think about it, it'll go away. And generally speaking, it doesn't, which is why we reach out and connect to other people, and why we have counseling and therapy, and really just moving things out there, man. It doesn't go away, and it can, but you got to do the work, and sometimes it's not as much work as it seems. But anyway, bro, one final thing I want to say to you is it's kind of like being mixed, and how the ways in which you have such a unique experience that other people don't see. Or it's just about being black or brown, that white people who walk through the world who don't really have the deep connections to people who are black and brown and can really listen to the stories of the things that go on, things that maybe you've experienced that some of your white friends haven't experienced. And then you tell them a story and they're just like, man, is that seriously? Like, that's not possible. Like, it's hard to believe, right? So it's cool that you've gone, that you had that. Cool, man. And as a man, it's good that you had that too. All right, bro, listen, thanks. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for joining.
Ciao.
All right, ciao. All right, let's go. Hey, you know what? Amaris. How about Amaris? Because Amaris was going to come on yesterday. And so let's see if we can. We have a good what do you know for Amaris. So you can turn your you're on. Amaris, how are you?
How are you?
Where are you right now? Wait, hang on. We just lost your mic. All right, go ahead.
I'm at State College.
State College? Are you in a dorm?
Yeah.
Where at? Wait, hang on. You keep getting muted. So.
One moment while we figure out technical difficulties. 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 Also, I believe your Twitch chat is still on. Like, I could hear the reverb coming from that. If you could mute that. Also, I believe your Twitch chat is still on. Like I could hear the reverb.
Should I exit out of that?
Also, I believe
Yeah, go ahead.
still on. Like I could hear reverb.
Is it good now?
Yes, it's much better. Sam's computer died, so he can't see anything. So that's why we're waiting for a moment, because I think he's plugging his computer. All right, everybody. So while we wait for Sam to get everything back on, I just wanted to talk to y'all and ask how the stream's going. If you have any comments for us, you can go ahead and let us know. Obviously, this is a technical issue that is going to happen on a live stream. But if now I have to let Sam in because he's here. But let us know. Email staff@social19.org for. All right.
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
Bum, bum, bum. Do you guys have a podcast? Yes. Sam, your mic is off, or it's not connected to Zoom or something.
As we said, technical difficulties.
There you go.
Okay, there we go. My bad. My computer.
Now back to your regularly scheduled program.
Oh, here we go. All right. Hey, Amaris.
Yes.
Okay, there you are. Hey, so here's yours, Jeff. Can you put hers up on this? Hey, so you're on campus?
Mm-hmm.
What hall?
Beaver Hall.
Beaver. All right. Jeff, if you're ready, we're gonna go with the next one on Islam. Hey, Amaris, where are you from originally?
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. West side's the best side. Hey, tell us what you know about Islam and violence.
Islam and violence.
Yep, everything you know.
So I don't want to relate it to like terrorism or nothing like that, but I don't really know much about violence relating to Islam. Like I never really heard of that.
Mm-hmm. What do you hear though? Just what do you hear? If I put those two words together like that, what do you hear? What are the ways in which people put them together? What do you hear in your world?
With Islam and violence?
Yep.
I never really heard much on that. I never really connected the two.
Whoa. Okay. Okay, awesome. What do you hear about Islam? What do you know? Tell us what you know about Islam.
I know that actually, well, yeah, I did hear of the violence with Islam a little bit from media, but anytime I would see something like that, I never really looked into it. And there's another country or city that's close to Islam that I know they're kind of connected. Or
yeah, so there are some cities. So there's cities. So you hear about cities. So if you think about Islam as a religion, right? And you're saying there are some cities that you hear cities mentioned that like where Muslims live that are connected, like the violence, right? You hear it, but you don't make sense of it. Mm-hmm. So what do you know about the religion now? Like Islam as a religion? Like what do you know? Like what kind of?
It's like the Muslim religion.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
I know that a lot of times people can connect that to terrorism, and people bring their own prejudice into the Muslim culture, the Muslim religion, and
Uh-huh.
often put their own stereotypes on them.
Uh-huh.
There's like a lot of time people even make racist jokes on that and will call someone a terrorist because they're Muslim or situations like that.
Okay. Got you. All right. Okay, so you have stuff, right? Okay. Hey, do you have any friends who are Muslim?
Yeah, I do have one friend, she's Muslim, but she's not the, like, you wouldn't be able to tell just by looking at her because you know how some Muslims, they wear certain things and others don't.
Mm-hmm. What do you know? Or what religion are you?
I'm Christian.
So do you know what the relationship is between Islam and Christianity?
Not that much.
Uh-huh. All right. So, so Jesus is is one of the prophets in Islam, right? In fact, Jesus is mentioned more times in the Quran than is Muhammad, peace be upon him. But there's a lot of relationships, right? So we talk about the Abrahamic traditions of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam being like the three key pillars in the West. All right, cool. What else? Anything else?
On that topic, no.
What about when you see a woman wearing a hijab covering, right? What are your thoughts?
Honestly, the only thing that I think to myself, like if it's hot outside, is I know she's hot. But that's really the only thing that I think. I respect their religion and I respect everything about them,
Cool.
especially because I know how it feels to have people have prejudiced thoughts of you, you know what I mean? So pretty much when I see them, I don't think of anything racist or I don't assume this or that. And I'm not blaming people for their prejudices because media does that to you. Prejudice is a hard thing not to have. We all have our own prejudice.
Yeah,
but
cool.
At the same time, I know not to act upon them and truly define someone before I even know who they are.
Dude, awesome. Nice words. Cool. All right, awesome. Nice job. Hey, and thanks for doing that. That's hard to come on here and like that's a really tough one. Okay. And we're going to talk about Islam and we're going to talk about all those issues about media and Islam and so on and violence, right? We'll be looking at that in the semester. Hey, so thanks, Amaris. I appreciate it. Hey, okay, so we have 5 minutes left. We're going to just do the next one. And just pick anybody. And unfortunately, we're not going to get to we're only going to really get to one more person, but just stay on the stream anyway. Jeff, just pick somebody. Or whoever. I don't know who's picking. Somebody just grab somebody. It's all good. And we're going to do the next one. Okay. Michael.
Hello.
It's going to be Michael. Hang on, Jeff. I don't know which one we're going to do. We're going to move forward and do the one with the rabbi, man. Okay, we're going to do that one, the anti-Semitism one, Jeff. Hey, Michael, where are you right now?
I'm in State College right now in my apartment. It's like by the retreat. It's across from the street. It's Wampanoag Lofts.
Yep. And what's your ancestry?
I'm 100% Vietnamese.
Yeah. And were you born in Vietnam or born here?
No, I was born here, but both my parents came here around like 17 to 18 during the Vietnam War. Yep. And they kind of had to come here. And they both like finished, I think, high school here, senior year. And then my dad went for 2 years of college. My mom didn't go to college.
And were they like Grace's parents and forced you to learn Vietnamese?
Yeah, my parents they're like traditional Asian parents, as you would expect. And so I learned Vietnamese first, like when I was a kid, and then obviously like through school and like an older brother who went to school before me. Like I learned English and I'm like bilingual, yeah.
Awesome, man. All right, so Jeff, you ready? We're gonna do, bro. Tell us everything you know about anti-Semitism.
I don't know that much, but like, because I'm not that educated, I'm like a percent I am, but I know like rabbis or like Jewish leaders, I think, but I don't know much about like the Jewish religion at all, I would think.
So what do you know about hatred against Jews?
I know like also like during the war that made like fostered a lot of hatred towards them only because that's like the culture that everyone was kind of taught. And I know that over time, like as a society, especially in America, we've become more accepting to other people, especially since like this country is built by minorities. But I do know that that's like, it's not like accepted, I would say, but kind of like a norm that like a lot of groups are facing, that it's like a norm to like make jokes about, or like it's not as more aware to people. Like I know like prejudices and Jews, like people don't take as deeply as like they should, especially with now issues going on that are kind of like in the media, especially like Black Lives Matter movement.
So what do you, so you're saying, so you say the prejudice against Jews it's not talked about as much as prejudice against other groups right now?
It's kind of like how racism against Asians is not, I'm not saying it's okay, but it's more normalized than like it should be.
Yeah, I got you. Okay. Why do you think it is that people don't like Jewish people? What's the origin of that?
I don't know. I would just say like it's not as talked about because it's not, I guess I would say it's not as like present as like obviously we're in America, like Black Lives Matter movement is huge now. It's like kind of your face to pay attention to it regardless if you want to or not. I would say because it's not an actively thing that's talked about, that's like racism against or like just prejudice against Jewish people. It's not as mainstream as it should be. So therefore people aren't really as educated in it. And as in school, I'm not like, there's obviously social things that I'm more aware of, and that's something that I'm just not more educated on. So it's something
I got you. Where do you think it comes from though? Like why? There are people that the anti-Semitism is the longest hatred in the West. It goes back 2,000 years, right? With the emergence of what we talk about as Christian ideology or Christian theology or Christianity, 2,000 years, right? Where do you think so what do you think like seeds that? Do you have any sense of it? You ever wondered that?
I don't know, but I would just like obviously like connecting to the Holocaust, but like overall, like without that, I probably don't know.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I've been like everywhere I go in the world, I have experienced anti-Semitism, right? I mean, I experienced people being anti-Semitic and not liking Jews, right? We have 1 minute left. I've been I was in the jungle one time in the Amazon rainforest, and I got to a community with people who had never left the community. I don't think I can't imagine they ever did, because I went down a boat 10 hours and who knows, and I said my name was Sam의, and they said, oh, because it's a Jewish name. And he said, oh, are you Jewish? And I was named after my mother's Jewish gynecologist, by the way. But nonetheless, I said, no, I'm not Jewish. And the answer was gracias a Dios, like, thank God, right? I'm like, dude, how do I get here? And you don't like Jews, and like you're in the middle of the rainforest. Like, so anyway, we'll talk about that in the semester. As we'll talk about discrimination that East Asians experience as well. So, all right, man. Yo, nice job. Awesome. That was a hard one too, because like we just don't, again, we see these things that we don't, these are all things we're going to learn about in class. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Hey, so if you're, I love seeing all you people on the screen, because what that means on Zoom. So if you don't know, you're in class, we have one, and true. We didn't get to you. You were on last time, so sorry about that. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 people waiting to get on. So dude, we didn't get you on. We will though, and we'll work better about to not bring more people on than we can really handle. So we're just working on it. Listen, next we're going to put this quiz up. We'll try to get it up as quickly as we can at 6 o'clock. Just take it, see how you do, get a sense of the kinds of questions that we're going to ask. Also, make sure you read the syllabus, take the syllabus quiz, and take that demography quiz. Do the questionnaire, and let us know if you don't want us to use your names. But I'll send that questionnaire out again, or Lily will send it out. Have a safe weekend. Don't forget, wear a mask. And sorry we ran over today, but we won't. Or did we run over? No, we're right at 5:50. Wait, that's good. I got 10 more seconds then. Next week, we're going to dive right into some of the really disturbing things that are happening. So it's going to be pretty, it'll be good. It'll be intense.
People are asking about where they submit their pictures. We don't need your pictures. We have your pictures.
Yeah, we have your photos already. I get them from Canvas. Canvas already has everybody's photo, but you just can't see them, but your instructors can get to them and see them. So I have the photo you have on your ID. I have access to that. So they come up on a page. So all your professors can, because it gives us a chance to see the students who are in our classes. Just know that, by the way, your professors have a photo of you if they want to look at it. Most of them don't know how to get to that photo, but nonetheless, right?
And then last thing before we leave, people are asking about the quiz. It doesn't go on Canvas until 6 today, correct?
Yeah, it goes on Canvas. And if you look on the side, if you just click on quizzes on the left side, you'll see it. We'll try to get it up right at 6. But again, it's not graded. It's just a practice quiz for you to get a sense of how these quizzes are going to work starting next Tuesday, the participation quizzes. So you can take it tonight, you can take it tomorrow. It doesn't really matter. But in the future, you'll take it immediately after class. So because you want to make sure you remember the class, okay? That's it. Be safe, be well, and thanks everybody for jumping on the stream. Seriously, hang on. Those of you who are watching on the stream, you can pop your cameras on if you want really fast. Who are watching in the Zoom, I mean, not on the stream. But I just want to really, really, really thank you for jumping on. I really appreciate it, and we'll get you on in the future. It's just awesome. Okay, and True, whatever your name was, I want to know how to pronounce your name. So let me know, man. Send me an email. All right. Thanks, everyone. We will see you. Okay.